Assalamu alaikum students. This is solving quadratic equation by factorization. This is basically D2 chapter number 5. This is exercise 5A question number 1 part F. In this question we have to factorize the question and we have to apply the zero property over here. The question is we have half h and then 2h plus 3 equals to 0. So we know that a zero property is basically if the product of two numbers is 0, then then one of these numbers will almost be 0. So what we'll do, we'll just equate them with 0 one by one. First we are going with half h equals to 0, and when this 2 is being divided on this side, it will go on other side and it will be multiplied, and 0 multiplied by 2 will be equal to 0, and minus 1 h will be equals to 0, and then this minus 1 will go on the other side and it will get divided, so h will be equals to 0. So I have put this bracket equals to 0. Now I have to put this bracket as well equals to 0. 2h plus 3 will be equals to 0. This positive 3 will go on other side and it will become minus 3. And then this 2 is being multiplied with h. It will go on the other side, and the next value of h will be minus 3 upon 2. Or I can also write it as minus 1 upon half. So this was question number 1 part F, and there are lots of part in this question and you can practice them. Question number 2 part A, we have two brackets. The first one was k minus 4 and the second one was k minus 9. And since both the brackets were being multiplied and equals to 0, so we are applying the zero property. We are equating one by one, each bracket equals to 0. First we are going with k minus 4 equals to 0, so k will be equals to 4, and then k minus 9 equals to 0 and k will be equal to 9. So the two values of k is 4 and 9. Since we are solving, we know that solving means we have to find the value of the variable. So basically this is a quadratic equation, so there will be two answers. So we have two answers. The first one, the first value of k is 4 and the second one is 9. Moving on to question number 3 part F. In question number 3 part F, we have minus 4h square minus 16h equals to 0. This question is not factorized, so we have to factorize it first before applying the zero property. So I can factorize this question by taking minus 4 as common, minus 4h as common. So in the bracket it will be h plus 4. So since now I have factorized this question, and this is equals to 0, so I will directly apply the zero property. First I will equate this with 0, and then I will equate this bracket with 0. Minus 4h equals to 0. This minus 4 will get on other side and it will be divided by 0, and the first value of h will be equals to 0. The second one is h plus 4 equals to 0. This plus 4 will go on other side and it will be subtracted from 0, so the next value of h is minus 4. In question number 4, part F, we have 4r square minus 100. Again, this question is not factorized, so you can factorize it. There are two methods of factorizing this question. Either you can take something as common. I will write 0 over here because there is a 0 in the question. So you have two methods. The first one is the common method. You can also take common. You can take 4 as common from this, or you can directly apply identity number 3 on this question to solve it. I have applied identity number 3. You can also complete this question by taking common. Both of the methods will give the same answer. This is the whole square of 2r, and minus sign, and 100 is a square of 10. So since this is the third identity, so I will write first it as negative 2r minus 10, and then again as positive 2r plus 10 equals to 0. Now I have factorized this question. Now I will put the brackets one by one equal to 0, and I will solve for the value of r, which is coming out to be plus minus 5. So you have to complete the steps, remaining steps. In question number 6, we have again 7x cubed plus 21x square equals to 0. Again, this question is not factorized, so I will factorize this question and I will take common. And 7x square is common, and the remaining bracket will be x plus 3 equals to 0. So now I have factorized the question, I have made the bracket, so now I will put them one by one equals to 0. 7x square will be equals to 0 and x will be equals to 0, and this 7 will go on other side and it will be divided. X square will be equal to 0, and then you can remove the square sign by taking square root on both the sides, so the value of x will also be equals to 0. And then x plus 3 equals to 0, so this plus 3 will go on other side and it will be subtracted, and the next value of x will be equals to minus 3. This is question number 7. In question number 7, we have 4 upon 9 minus d square upon 25 equals to 0. And we can again apply the identity number 3. We know that this is also a square. 4 is the square of 2 and 9 is the square of 3. So we can write 2 upon 3 whole square. Then there's a negative sign, and then I know that the square of d is d square and the square of 5 is 25. So I can again write whole square. So this is my third identity. First, I will write it as negative 2 upon 3 minus d upon 5. And then I will write it as positive 2 upon 3 plus d upon 5 equals to 0. So now I have factorized this. So I will now just put one by one the brackets equal to 0. I have only solved I have only solved one bracket for you. You will be solving the next bracket by yourself. And I have solved this bracket. This d upon 5 is negative. When it will go on the other side, it will become positive d upon 5. Since I have to find the value of d, I will move this 5 on the other side. This 5 is being divided, so it will get on this side and it will be multiplied by 2, and I will get d is equals to positive 10 upon 3. When you will solve this bracket equals to 0, you will get d is equals to minus 10 upon 3. So the two values of d will be plus and minus 10 upon 3. This was question number 7. We have some more questions. This is basically question number 12. In question number 12, I have applied the middle term breaking method, and I broke my middle term into minus 6y and minus 6y. Then I took 3xy as common, and the remaining bracket will be 3xy minus 2, and again minus 2 as common, and the bracket 3x minus 2. Uh, my both brackets are coming out to be same, so I just wrote them like this: 3xy minus 2 whole square. And then I know that in order to remove the square, I have to take the square root, and the square root of 0 is 0, and this square will be cancelled out by the square root. So 3xy minus 2 will be equals to 0, and the question, if you read the question, it is clearly mentioned that you have to express y in terms of x. So I have to make y as my subject. So I will shift this 3x on the other side. So the value of y will be 2 upon 3x. We have question number 4 part A as well. In question number 4 part A, I have to factorize, and I know that there are 3 terms, so I am going for middle term breaking method. And after applying the middle term breaking method, the value of k is coming out to be minus 6. You can also apply the middle term method. You can break your term into plus 6k and plus 6k, and then after taking common, the both brackets will be same. Then you will take the square root on both sides, and your answer will be k is equals to minus 6. The last question is question number 9 part A, in which there is a little bit of trick. You have to apply the middle term method because this is 3. You can't apply the 0 property. 0 property applies only when there is a 0 on the other side. So what will I do? I will just expand it. I will just expand this bracket. K multiplied by 2k will be 2k square, and then k multiplied by 5 will be 5k, and then this positive 3 will go on other side. It will become minus 3 equals to 0. And now I will apply the middle term breaking method. I know that I have to multiply the corners. This is minus 3, this is 2k square, this will be minus 6k square, and the middle term is plus 5k. I will just make the factors of 6, 2 factors, 1 multiplied by 6 and 2 multiplied by 3. So now I have to decide which factor to pick. I know that if I'm going with 1 and 6, so I have to give 6 the greater sign, since the middle term sign is positive, so I have to give 6 a positive sign, and then I have to subtract k from 6 to get 5k, so I will give them a negative sign. And if I'm going with 2 and 3, so I have to give both of them positive sign because I want 5k. So now I will check my second condition. When I will multiply these two, I will get minus 6k square. but when I will multiply these two, I will not get minus 6k square. I will get 6k square. So which is basically not fulfilling my second condition. So I will cancel this out and I will be going with this. So I have just found my factors middle term. I have broken my middle term into 1k and 6k. So I just replace them like this, and I have took common. I took k as common. So the bracket will be 2k minus 1, and then I have taken 3 as common from these two, and the bracket is again 2k minus 1. And when will I solve for k? The two values will be, the first value of k will be minus 3, and the second value of k will be equals to 1 upon 2. So you can complete your steps. You can complete your steps. You can check your answers. So this was all about factorization of quadratic equation, and we are solving a quadratic equation by factorization. And you know that factorization means I have to introduce brackets, and when I introduce brackets I have to take something common, or I can apply the middle term breaking method, or I can use identities for that. So this was all about our today's class. We were solving chapter number 5 of D2. There are lots of questions in the exercise which are left. So I hope you will be practicing those questions, and I hope you will get your concepts clear. If you have any query, if you have any question, you can discuss with me in the comment box, so I can clear and get see and respond to your queries.